My. This is difficult, isn't it? The unforgivable sin. That really leaves me disconcerted because when I look at the life of Jesus, I find him, well, continually filled with forgiveness. Look at the story of the woman caught in adultery. Oh my gosh, adultery, that's a major sin. That's serious. And there's forgiveness in the heart of Jesus. Peter comes up and says, how many times should I forgive my brother or sister? 7 times? And what does Jesus say? 70 times, 7 times. He says, no, go far beyond what you would expect in terms of forgiveness. And then the supreme forgiveness that Christ gives as he's hanging on the cross, dying the most unjust experience the world has ever heard of. And he says, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. Look at that. Look at this forgiveness. And then we hear today of an unforgivable sin. How do we reconcile that? And what would that sin be that would pull us away from such a forgiving God? I really think that this challenge of the unforgivable sin rises out of Jesus' deep frustration, and it calls us to a seriousness of the call of Jesus in our own life. The frustration is people who reject the good news, reject the fact of God's deep love, God's forgiveness, God's desire to live forever with us in heaven. And there are people that reject that. They say they don't want that. And he's like this person, and he told the parable of the king who wants to have a wonderful feast, and he goes out and he invites people, and they say, oh no, I'm too busy. Oh no, I can't make it. Oh, I just got married, or I've got some kind of business. And they come up with all kind of excuses. And Jesus is crying out in frustration saying, why don't you accept the goodness of what I want to give? I want to give you forgiveness. I want to give you life. I want to give you life that will never end in heaven. As we hear this challenge about the unforgivable sin, there's something of fear that we need to awaken if we're not willing to listen to that message of Jesus. God wants us to respond to the love that he reaches out to us. He wants us to make a decision to not be continually sitting on the fence, to say yes to the love that he reaches out to us. May that challenge, may that love overwhelm us and give us strength to never be held back from forgiveness.